So, what could getting wealthy and getting fit possibly have in common? I mean, you'd think they're completely different worlds, right? But it turns out the fundamental rule for success, it's exactly the same for both. Let's break it down. And this quote right here, this is the heart of it all. Your body and your bank account have the exact same enemy, inconsistency. It's a pretty bold statement, but wow, is it true? The single biggest thing that's going to torpedo your progress, whether we're talking about your portfolio or your physique, is that one simple thing. All right, let's start by really defining this enemy we all share. Look, this isn't about not having enough talent or not having enough money. No, it's something way more subtle, and honestly, it trips up almost everybody. I mean, think about it, right? You start a new diet and quit after a week. You buy a stock and then you panic sell it a month later. Or you hit the gym hard for like 2 weeks and then you just stop. It's those stops and starts that totally sabotage our long-term goals. Inconsistency just makes sure you never, ever stay in the game long enough to see the real results. Okay, so to really get the solution, we gotta look at the financial side first. Let's talk about one of the most powerful forces in the entire universe, the magic of compounding. Everything, and I mean everything, starts small, almost comically small. Imagine you invest just a single dollar. At first, it's so easy to just dismiss it, you know? It feels like absolutely nothing is happening. It's just $1. But this is where the magic of time kicks in. In year 1, that growth is practically invisible. By year 5, you start to see a little something. But look at what happens around years 10 and 20. Whoa, that curve just bends sharply upwards. See, this is the point where your previous gains start generating their own gains. And that is the whole secret. And this is the result. That single dollar, just by being left alone to consistently, uninterruptedly compound over time, can turn into a really significant amount of money. It's not actually magic, it's just math. But man, it feels like magic because that initial phase is so slow. So the most important thing to get here is this. Compound interest is just interest on your interest. It's a total snowball effect. You start with a small, consistent effort that just builds on itself, creating this momentum that eventually becomes pretty much unstoppable. Now, let's take that exact same idea, that compounding principle, and let's move it from the bank to the gym. How does this apply to getting stronger? Well, it's the same deal. You build one gain on top of another. You know, you can't just walk into a gym on day 1 and do a muscle up. It's a really complex movement. You have to build that foundational strength first. You master the push-up, then you master the dip, then you master the pull-up. Each one of those skills compounds on the last, building the strength and coordination you need for that final, much more impressive skill. And this just perfectly illustrates the main idea. The gains you make in the gym this week, they make next week's workout possible. The strength you build this month becomes the foundation for all of next month's progress. Biceps and balance sheets, they are both governed by the exact same law of compounding. Okay, so if the formula is so simple, just be consistent, then why isn't everybody rich and ripped? Well, this brings us to the most important part of the journey, navigating that phase where pretty much everyone fails. This slide just says it all. On the left, that's what we expect. We think our progress is going to be this nice, straight, upward line. We put in the work, we expect to see immediate results. But reality looks like the J-curve on the right. There's this initial period where we're putting in a ton of effort for very, very little visible reward. That flat part of the curve, that is the danger zone. So why do we give up? Well, it's because the reality we're living doesn't match up with our expectations. It feels like we're just spinning our wheels, getting absolutely nowhere, and our motivation just completely dies. And here it is. This is the critical piece of information. 3 months in. That's the moment of truth for most people. You've been saving your money, you've been going to the gym consistently, but your bank account or your body, they don't look dramatically different yet. You're still on that flat part of the curve, right before that amazing exponential growth is about to kick in. And that's exactly when most people throw in the towel. See, just understanding this J-curve is the key to absolutely everything. It lets you completely reframe your journey, and it gives you the power you need to push through that really difficult part. So let's just boil it all down to this simple formula. The key is consistency. Your one true enemy is breaking the chain of that consistency. And your reward for pushing through that deceptive flat part? Life-changing exponential growth. And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Take a second and really think about this. In which area of your life have you been quitting at month 3? Which one of these curves are you accidentally flattening just by being inconsistent? The power to ride that J curve all the way to success, well, it's entirely in your hands.